Hello and welcome to this tutorial on how to use Zapier interfaces to bring the text-based adventure game to life. The first thing I'm going to do is click on Interfaces and then Create, and then scroll all the way down to the bottom to Zap Chat. I can then click on the Edit option, and I know this is going to be a maths adventure game, so I'm going to put that there. And now I'm going to go to the directives, which I've shared online. You can just copy and paste these in. The only thing you would need to do is to add in the year group, the subject, and the learning objectives. I've pre-populated these for the demo. I did have to add some more explicit instructions. For some reason, even though Zapier is built on ChatGPT, it kept allowing students to leave the game before it had finished, so I added some extra instructions to make that very clear. I also added this extra line here, so the game would start with asking the students for their name, and then it would communicate with the student throughout the adventure. So I'm going to copy these directives in, and I'm just going to then add a nice welcome message that I've pre-written. So it's going to start by saying welcome to the maths adventure, telling the student to enter their name, and I'm going to say enter your command, because we're mainly going to be pressing ABC for the rest of the game. Now I'm saving these changes, and now I can share. This is a URL I could send to students, or then I could open this in a browser, and now I can enter my name and generate the maths adventure. So I'm just going to click on some random options here. And the good thing about using this interface for this game, I like the fact that I can send the same URL link to each student, but it's going to generate a different text-based game for each student that runs a link. So if I went in and typed in my name a second time, I would get a different adventure and a different scenario for this experience. So this means you can have 20 different students working on the same learning objectives, but through a different game and experiencing things slightly differently. Then what we can do, I'm just going to close this down and go back into some of the settings, because you can right click up here and go into the page options and actually give it a slightly better name. I'm going to use Maths Adventure and call this Maths Adventure. I'm just going to update all of this information, update my URL, save those changes, and we can also right click on the chat app interface settings and update some of these as well. So this is going to be my maths adventure, so I can update my URL. Homepage is this. I'm going to save these changes, so now I've got a slightly better URL for my experience. We can also go to themes, and I'm going to generate mystical adventure and generate a theme. Usually gives a couple of options you can pick from. This time it's just given one. Apply this theme to my game. Okay, that's all saved. I'm going to go back to my maths adventure, and then I'm going to share this again. You can see I've now got a better URL that's a bit more student friendly. Open this in the browser. Let's do one last test. For some reason here I've picked a font style that is not showing my name correctly, so that's something I would need to go back in and edit, which you can do very quickly back in the interface settings. What I've done is, let me go and see the text here. Let me just change that to be a darker color. Save those changes, and let's go. Actually, I'm probably just refresh this main adventure. And there we go. So it's quite easy if you spot some mistakes to go back into the theme or into the settings and make some updates. And here I am off on my new adventure.